Welcome to In 5 Minutes. We'll continue our discussion of strings. In previous video already we discussed what is string is. String is a collection of multiple characters enclosed in double quote symbols, that is inverted commas. It can be collection of any kind of characters, alphabets, digits, spaces, symbols, etc. Every string ends with a special character called as null character, that is \0 character, which is appended at the end of the string by C automatically. Then the main point about strings is string is a character array. That is, in C, when we write any program or any statement to process a string, we need to work with a character array, or we require a character array to store a string. Now with that discussion we'll go forward. Here we'll see how we can do string input and string output. Now since string is an array, do we require to use loops, while, for to input characters into array? No. String works like a one unit, at least in the case of input and output, so that we can input a string and output a string simply like we input an integer or output an integer just by single statement. We need not write any loop to input or output a string. So to begin with, we'll see how we can do string input. Here we have defined a char array of size 30. So it has A0 to A29, 30 characters. So it can hold a string with maximum characters 29, because there will be one character required to hold null character also. Obviously we can store characters less than 30 but not more than 30. So here, just to understand, I'll draw the array. This is an array with A0 to A29, 30 characters. Now to input a string, we are given a message enter name, and simply by writing gets we can input a string. Look at the syntax. We write gets percentages for mentioning string input, and then you write just a string name, that is array name, no ampersand symbol. So just observe scanf %s comma just a, no ampersand a. So that is how we can input an array, that is input a string. Now suppose the input given was a b c d, enter. User has to just input the string what he needs, like name of student or password or whatever. No double quotes, no null character. That is handled by C automatically. So when this string is input, it will be stored into A0, A1, A2, A3 and so on, and at the end there will be null character stored. So in this case, at the fourth index there will be null character. Now this was a simple example. So there is no loop required, there is no control statement required to input a string, just a simple scanf will input a complete string. Now Scanf has a problem that Scanf can input only single word. For example, if you want to enter a full name or address or some message, then Scanf will not help us. Scanf can input only single word. So we can input only name or password or a username, which is a single word. But to input multi-word string, that is data text with multiple words, we need to use special function, that is gets. It stands for get string. Syntax is we write gets in bracket array name. Here we can input a multi-word string. When you press enter, this entire string is collected and stored into a character array A, into A0, A1, A2, A3, each character into one char variable of array. Obviously restriction is we cannot input more than 30 characters. This is how we can input a string. Now to output a string, we have again printf command, which is opposite of scanf, but printf is not restricted. Whatever is input into string, that is array, it outputs everything. Printf doesn't output only single word, printf outputs the entire string. Now how the string is output? For example, we write printf some message name equal to %s, again %s for outputting string, and you write just array name, no size, no character, nothing. Now when you say printf a, the printf command prints string from 0 up to null character. That is, it doesn't go beyond a null character, and that null character is there to indicate end of the string. Because the actual array, you can see it is of size 30, but the string stored can be 5 characters, 10 characters, 25 characters, and at the end of that there will be null character. So that null character indicates printf command that string is up to this index only. So that much of characters are printed and rest of the character array is not printed. Same way, this other command puts. Puts also outputs entire string, but puts is not flexible like printf. Puts is just to output single string at a time with no message, no other data. Like with printf we can print string with other data also, with some message also, But in case of puts, we can output one string and that too without any other data with it. I'll repeat. To input a string, we can use scanf function, but that inputs only single word. We use %s to mention string, and we just write array name, no ampersand symbol. To input a string, a complete string with multiple words, we can use special function gets, that is get string. We have to just mention the array name in bracket. To output a string, we can use printf or puts. Both output complete string as it is. We write printf %s to output a string with array name. Printf or puts output string till null character, not the entire array. Puts function prints a string, but at a time only single string without any other message or any other data. Now, as we go forward with our programs and examples, we'll be utilizing gets to input string and printf to output a string. Thank you.